fine, as long as I know it's you.
Yeah, because that's my other name in another class. Why is my dog?
That's fine. All right, so they should have joined by now. So I am going to go ahead. I'll probably end up going through all of this again, but I'm going to go ahead and cover what I wanted to talk about. So today's agenda is really just to make sure you guys all got my email I sent this morning. It had a letter explaining grades. Did everybody read that?
Yeah.
It said it like needed to download it for me or something. I couldn't figure it out. So
The letter you needed to download?
Yeah, because it wouldn't load. The file wouldn't load. It said. So I was trying to figure that out, and I couldn't figure it out.
Let me see if I can send you a PDF of the same thing, and then you won't have to worry about downloading it.
All right.
I'll pause sharing. Hang on.
Turning cooler for the coming days, and then our shower temps do go up for tomorrow into Wednesday. Look at the highs yesterday. 87 at the airport, 88 in Evanston, 87 out Franklin. So that puts us up one other level on the list. The top 5 warmest
She
months.
probably wants outside.
Sitting at the 4th warmest, 2020 with 56.9 as our average temperature. Outside right now at the airport, 6.
Welcome to Alyssa Jones. Glad you could join us. I'm making a PDF of the letter that I did earlier today because Antonio was unable to download it. So I'm going to make a PDF and see if we can get that. Welcome to Mason. I'll save as. Bye. Okay, Antonio, I've just sent that. See if you can open that one.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to, okay. So I've got you unmuted. So if you have any other noise in the room, you can either mute yourself if you don't want it to be heard, or you can go to a different place where the noise won't bother us. Because since it's a small group right now, I'm going to leave you unmuted. That way you can stop and ask me questions. Alexa, let me unmute you. And Courtney, I'm going to unmute you. And Alyssa, I'm going to unmute you. All right, Courtney, it was not able to unmute you. So if you want to unmute yourself, it should allow you to.
Yeah, I muted myself.
Okay. And Selena just joined us. Okay, so let me get through this quickly. I don't intend to take all 45 minutes unless you guys have a lot of questions. My first thing is Zoom etiquette. They told us to go over that because there have been Zoom bombers messing up lectures. The first one is make sure you have this extension ahead of time, which you should have by now if you're in the room. I'm telling you to mute your microphone, but for now I'm going to leave it up because I want to know if you guys have questions. Just always be respectful. Make sure you're in a quiet setting where no distractions can bother you, no dogs barking, no other siblings around. Try not to interrupt the teacher when I'm teaching. I guess that just goes without saying. If you have a question, I like to see the chat room facility being used, because when you're in a chat room, everybody can see your question, and then that way we all know if the question is being answered at the same time. Make sure you keep your questions on topic and is minimal. Don't ask a 5-part question. And also listen to or read the other attendees' questions, because every now and again, somebody's going to ask the exact same question you have, and it's frustrating when I have to answer it more than once because you were doing something else while somebody else was asking questions. And we do have the ability to remove anybody from a session if they're being disruptive. And I know that's not going to apply to anybody in this class, but if somebody insists on being kind of a show-off and wants to take care of the class, I can remove you and not bring you back for that session. Also, all sessions are recorded, so whatever goes online stays online. Just remember that rule. So those are my Zoom etiquette rules, which I think are pretty self-explanatory. So let me get back to the agenda. So this Friday, the 3rd, is when we close the marking period down. And I'm going to take a look at your grades and see how many of you have done. So if I'm looking at this right, only Alexa has done every assignment. So Alexa, welcome to your spring break. It started early. I could be wrong. I may have missed some of you, but it looks like at least some of you are missing one or both quizzes and 1 or 2 assignments. And there's even a few who have yet to take the test. So I reposted the test grades. Everything is due April 3rd. Everything is now open. The Nearpod is open. The quizzes are open. The Mastery Connect test is open. And I'm going to use this test, the statistics test, to replace your lowest other test grade. So if you missed a test or if you really did poorly on one, and the way I'll do it is I will drop 2 test grades instead of 1 and about 3 to 5 quizzes. So I normally drop only 3 quizzes. I may drop up to 5, and that would cover these 2 quizzes that you've just taken these past 2 weeks. When you go to take a quiz or a test, please only use the codes for your block. A lot of times, hey Sydney, a lot of times the codes, people jump codes and they go to somebody else's class because their code isn't working, but don't do that, because if I don't see your name in your class, I may not give you credit for it. We are actually, well, Steve, the Zoom lessons is how I'm going to teach you from now on. So if you look at this, and I gave it to you in your letter, if you look at this, it tells you when we're meeting. So for instance, you're my block 2. We're going to meet Mondays from 12:15 to 1 and Wednesdays at that same time slot. Those are our 2 live days to be together and go over a lesson, and I'll give you what you need, and then you can submit it after the lesson is over. Fridays are my just regular block hours. This should be a 4 down here. I wish they had fixed that. But if you need to ask me a question during the first block of the day, that's white 5 and green 1, you can call me from 11 to 11:45 on Fridays. If you're green 2 or white 6, you can call me from 12:30 to 1:15 on Fridays, and so on. So those will be my just open office hours. It's kind of like my tutoring sessions after school. If you have something, you're welcome to come and see me. So again, this is all in the letter that I sent you. So I'm hoping that you guys will go back and really read through that letter. Don't just cursory look at it, because a lot of the questions you're about to ask me will be answered in that letter. All right, so that's how we're going to do the Zoom sessions. And of course, if you need to know how to get there, you'll always use this link at the very top of your page. So this is for my white 7, but this is at the very top of your classwork tab. And you'll launch the meeting this way, and voila, we'll all be together. All right. Are there any questions about the Zoom meetings? I can look in the chat room, or some of you have unmuted. Let me unmute everybody. Hopefully it'll stay quiet though. Does anybody have any questions about how we're going to meet on Zoom?
No.
Okay, and I hope by now everybody realizes that this is not optional. These meetings are how I'm going to teach you. So if you don't tune into the meeting, if you sleep through and you can't catch it, try and look at the video later. I'm going to post the videos. But honestly, everything I post in Google now is mandatory. There's no optional supplemental materials. Everything I post is something you need in order to understand the lesson, because we're not together in class anymore. So I wanted to show you my YouTube feed. When I look at my YouTube channel, like for the topic 11.9, where I taught you how to do normal distributions, there were only 32 views. So out of all 114 of my Algebra 2 students, only 32 actually watched the teaching video. This is how I taught that lesson. It was even worse on the day that I taught normal permutations and combinations. Only 31 of you viewed it. And let's see, there was another one I did. When I did Z-scores, only 26 of you have viewed it. So honestly, if you're trying to take tests and quizzes and you're not watching the videos, you're not really understanding it as you go into the test or quiz. And I know at one point I said they're not going to count grades, but then they came back and said, wait a minute, these alternative lesson plans for the middle schools and up do count towards the last part of your marking period 3 grade. And so I don't understand why some of you just chose not to do it, or you chose to click through it quickly just to get it over with. So they are counting the grades, and I need you guys to actually watch my videos. You won't understand the work if you just look at the notes. You really need to watch the videos. I also had a video where I went over the test review in its entirety. And I'm not sure if that was, no, we had a live session, and then I think I did post a test review very quickly. But you guys need to understand that if I'm giving a test review and you're choosing not to come, that's going to set you back on the test. And yes, we will, going forward, we will continue to have tests unless they tell me otherwise. And so far, I don't have any information on that. Okay. So this week is a catch up for the past 2 weeks, actually. So anything that I've done, I posted on, I believe, 3/18 and forward. You need to go back and make sure you've picked up everything. And if we look in your Google Classrooms, that includes hey, Cameron, glad you could join us. So if I look in Google Classroom, that includes this day, actually, it includes this day, permutations and combinations, all the way on up. And if you look in the permutations and combinations, that's the Nearpod link. That was the first assignment where I wanted you to go through that. So some of you haven't turned it in yet. And don't just click on the turn in button and think I'll look at that, because I actually see a Nearpod report, and this report tells me who's done what. So I can actually see your score, see if you've actually filled in the slides and answered the question. So please make sure that you're not just clicking turned in and thinking that I'm going to accept that as a turn in. So back to the so that was the Nearpod lesson. There was a quiz built in. I wanted you to do the quiz as well. And then I posted that video in the lesson because some of you couldn't open it. So I just wanted to know if you had a second chance, would you use it? Then the mean, median, and mode. This is an assignment right here where it says Z-score homework. If you click on this link, it will take you to a quiz that I expect you to do, and not just click on randomly, but actually try your hardest to get it right. First, I would look at the notes and watch the video, then take this quiz. And then I taught the normal distributions, and this is a homework right here. This PDF file, I expected you to download, mark up, and send back to me, and several of you have not done that yet. So I need that one done. And then I gave you the new codes on, let's see. I believe these codes are good. If it's posted March 25th, these codes are still valid. If you haven't taken the permutations and combinations quizzes or the Z-scores quizzes, there's still time to do that. So please make sure you get only your code. Do not go into another's code, Tyler Dobbs, and those of you who did. And make sure that you guys are just testing under your own code, okay? Because I don't want to see your name in somebody else's classroom. And then the test codes for Mastery Connect have been reopened. So for those of you who missed the test, and this is not the first thing you should be doing, you should be doing this last of all. If you missed the test on statistics, now is the time to go back and make sure you finish it. Okay, I've had a lot of people ask me if there was a retest. The first thing I'm going to look for is, did you do the formative? So when I look at the formative, let's see, in your class, that's not you guys. That's not you guys, that's the same class. That's not you guys. It's not you guys either. Oh, you must be at the top of the list. There you are. So when I look, I see Alexa's done it, Angela's done it, Madison's done it, Mason's done it. Darius, it says you. Darius, if you're here, you still have some questions to answer. I can see you have no response on a number of these, so you need to go back and do it. And some of you haven't even started it, which explains why the quiz grades were so low. If you don't do the review, which was this link right here, under test review, if you don't do this review, then of course you're not going to do well on the test. So please, I'm begging you, take the time to actually do this review. I'm looking in the work, not in this turn-in number, but in the actual tab to see that you've done it. So make sure you've done it. All right, let me get back to that. Okay, so we are still observing spring break. Next week, we will not teach, we will not entertain any more late work. So once this Friday passes, that's it. There's no more turning in after that. So please don't try and turn in work during my spring break because I might not even be checking my emails. Your report cards will be mailed out on April 20th. And then we're going to spend the whole fourth marking period reviewing for the SOL. Now, a lot of people said, oh, they're canceled, so why are we bothering? Hey, Angela, I hope you haven't been waiting long. I just saw your name up there. So yeah, the SOL has been canceled for this year, but there's talk about starting it next fall. So if you're still in school, and the only ones who this won't matter to is the seniors, but if you're still in school and you haven't taken the SOL for Algebra 2, they're probably going to try and pick you up then during the fall semester. So yes, they want us to do the fourth marking period SOL review. Now let me just say something else that I get all year long. When people know they've already passed an SOL and they don't have to take it, the first thing they say is, do I have to do this assignment? Yes, you do. If I am teaching it, it is all I have to grade you on for fourth marking period. I have no special other assignments for you. So when I say this is our SOL review and you tell me, well, I don't have to take it, so I must not have to do this assignment, you'll get zeros for your report cards because you won't have done any of the work. So let's make sure that even though they're not testing you on the SOL this year, you're doing the review for your fourth marking period. That will be your grade. And I'm going to try and do some interactive scavenger hunts and things like that. So I'll talk you through it during our live session, and then I'll set you free to go do the link and finish it yourselves. If you want to work together on homeworks, I highly recommend you get together through some chat room or some kind of phone thing. But then on test and quiz days, you need to do your own work. So does everybody understand that? I'm checking the chat room. If you need to chat, it should be up at the top of your screen. I'm not seeing anything. Are you guys all seeing my chat? Okay. Thank you, Keswick. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Alexa. Okay, good. So we're all on the same page. You are going to SOL review last marking period. I appreciate that. I appreciate that from all of you guys. Also, make this number a priority for any technical issues whatsoever. If your Chromebook charger is not working, if the screen is blank, call this number. They are live and on call every weekday till about 4 p.m. And I've called them multiple times, and they're fantastic. They get right on it. They can do a lot for you. So, and this is even if your parents are having like internet problems and they don't know how to set up the internet, they will talk your parents through this as well. So this is a valuable resource. Write this number down, and they're fantastic. They really are. So guys, that's really all I had. Let me see if you're all still unmuted. Some of you went back and remuted, and I appreciate that. But what I'm going to do is unmute you one at a time and ask you if you have any personal questions or anything that you want to do. You want to say to me. So Alexa, you're at the top of the list. Alexa, go ahead. Do you have anything you want to ask me? Alexa, I'm not hearing you, even though you're unmuted. Did you walk away?
No, I said no.
Okay. Antonio, how about you? Do you have anything that you need to straighten out after this?
For the formative, does it say I finished it? Because in the grade book, it's just a blank grade. Like, it's just nothing there.
But you did finish it?
Yeah, I did. So I was wondering if it says on there that I finished it.
Oh, are you in a different classroom? Because I don't even see you here.
No, I should be in, no, I'm in G2.
You would be right about here because it's by first name. I don't see you. You're saying for this formative?
Yeah, for the test review. Yeah.
Does this question look familiar to you? A set of data has a mean of 71 and a standard deviation?
Yes. Because I clicked on the link that you put in Google Classroom.
It's
I
funny
did.
because I remember seeing you under guest, and I remember saying, why are you under guest, Antonio? And you said you weren't, but I didn't see you. I'm looking for you everywhere else. I'm not seeing you, Antonio. Can you go back and redo it?
Well, I clicked on the link and it says that I've already done it. So I mean,
Oh, it won't even let you back in. I see what you're saying.
I remember you talking about it now. You said I was under guest, but I logged in with my info. So
Yeah. I'll have to look for you because it somehow lost you even though it's telling you you've already done it. I can't find you. I'll have to look for you. Did you put a different name in?
no, I put in the info that was made for the account. I didn't put anything different.
That's interesting. I wonder if I'm missing other people then. Oh, there you are. I see you. For some reason, you are under the guest, so I see you. I'll give you credit for that right now. Thank you, Antonio. I appreciate you telling me that.
Yep.
You're good. Okay. You're good. All right, let me get off of this page. All right, so that was Antonio. Let me see who else. Alyssa, your mic is hot. Do you want to ask me anything?
No.
Okay. Keswick, I can hear you. Do you have anything to ask?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Angela Redding, do you have anything you want to ask me? I can't unmute you, Angela. You must have done something because I can't unmute you. If you have something you want to ask me, you can type it in the chat room. Oh, wait, I hear you now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm okay. Yeah. I don't have any questions.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
My cat's just been attacking me this whole time, so I'm sorry if I'm a bit flustered.
Okay, well, I'm going to mute you so Kitty can have her way with you. So, Cameron, you're up. I'm trying to unmute your mic, but it doesn't look like it's working for me. Do you have any questions for me, Cameron?
Still have to do the formative if we've already done the test.
Yeah, actually you do, because a lot of people, let me see how you did on that, Cameron.
I didn't do it.
No, but you did really well on the test. Still, I would like you to go back and do the formative. I really would, because since we're not in class together and we're not getting real one-on-one instruction, every bit counts. So even though you've tested, I do wish you would go back and do the formative for me.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm muting you again. Courtney, you should be unmuted now. Is there anything you have? Courtney? Nothing?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. Luke Mitchell, you are unmuted. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
No.
Okay. And Selena. Hang on, Selena. I'm trying to unmute. Sometimes it takes a while. Selena, it's not letting me unmute you. So if you have any question, could you put it in the chat room below? I'll be watching for it. Okay, I see you. I see you. All right, if I missed anybody, let's see, I got Selena, Luke. I think I got Keswick. I got Courtney, Cameron, Antonio, Angela, Alyssa, and Alexa. All right, guys, that's all I had. So remember, if you have done everything, and I'm showing two people now, Antonio and Alexa have done everything, you need not do anything more. You're completely up to date, and we will have all the way till the 3rd, that's this Friday, to finish all that work. And then we'll have April 6th through 10th off, and then we pick up 4th marking period after April 10th. The rest of you owe me at least one other thing, and some of it is just the normal distribution worksheet, which I posted. If you look, the normal distribution worksheet was not there. Right there. So if you open this link, it gives you a document you're supposed to mark up. I did the first one for you. That's the answer to the first one. And then you should be able to use this in Desmos. Remember how we did it in Desmos? We, instead of doing this, that's for TI-84s. In Desmos, we go to the functions tab, the distributions and the normal distributions, and we say the mean, let's say the mean is 14 and the standard deviation is 2. And we want to go, you have to check this box. We want to go from all numbers between, say, 8 to 11. And it tells you your probability right there. Okay? So that's how you would do those. A lot of people ask me for normal distribution help, and I think it was just a matter of them not watching the videos. Did I show you guys my YouTube channel? So I'm not getting as many views as I would hope. Like on the day I covered normal distributions, that was this lesson, only 32 views, which I have 114 students. So somebody's not watching these videos, and that explains why there's so many questions. So please, if there is a video, it's not optional. If there's a video posted from now on, that is how I do my lessons, and you guys really need to be on top of that. All right. I'm done. If anybody wants to stay behind and ask me a private question, you can private chat me, or if you want to go now, you're welcome to go. I'll see you guys again on Wednesday, but if you've done everything and you know what we're doing, you do not have to attend Wednesday. Like Alexa and Antonio, you two are completely done. You really don't need to come back on Wednesday unless you have a special question. So you're welcome to head on out. Let's see, I have somebody who just joined me named Brandy. I have to know who you are, Brandy.
I hear you, mother.
Oh.
It's sad.
Who is